Yo, can I get in on this? I want another one, two. One, two. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming. This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming. And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style. Ja-da-da-ya, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, INA, where you at? What it do? They got receipts, they got them files. They gon' investigate an advocate, holding it down. And when it comes to intel, you know they showing out. You're smiling in Jed's face. Hold up, check that file. Don't run up on them either, they always in the crowd. INA got his back, you don't know when they around. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And then there's Jed's mother, you know she gon' speak. She praying for the people, prophesying what she see. Jed, God got you covered, he's holding you down. He's showing you his favor, his mercy, his power. So always stay humble, give God your best. Remember you're a man, ain't no S on your chest. You know where help comes from when you're up or you're down. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. Yeah. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. Keep the real ones around. INA runs deep, keep the real ones around. Keep the real ones around. The real ones around. INA runs deep, keep the real ones around.
Good morning. Good, amazing morning. Um, this is your boy on Investigate and Advocate, Jedediah Brown, your host. And then I want to shout out to all of my resources, investigative advocate and organizer. Um, and as you all know, I'm also the proud commander of For the Culture and INA. If you have not considered joining or learning about what's coming in For the Culture, I would really encourage you to do so. Because I think that it is the next move. And I think that it is going to be something that makes a tremendous amount of difference. I am laying down. Oh, godly. I'm laying down. So what I wanted to know is that you all can hear me, because I know when I lay down, my voice is different. I know you can see me. I can see that. But if you can hear me, do me a favor and put happy birthday. I don't know. Just let me know that you all can hear me real quick. This thing. So it looked like it may not be working. Oh, it is working. Okay. Mandy B just sent me $10. Mandy B just sent me $10, and that just was just so appreciative. This morning, you all. Today, I woke up. Hallelujah, hallelujah. This morning, I woke up, and when I woke up today, I woke up 39 years older. If anybody know anything about my story, I've been told several times that I was not going to make it to this point. Um, the one time that I really thought that I was going to have a real issue is when I had a kidney issue. And they told me that basically my probability is that I wouldn't be able to see past 25, 26. And so to be at 39 years old as of midnight, um, I just want to basically encourage people again that are on this live and that may be going through things or facing things. I need you to understand that God has the final say, got the final word, and sometimes you can't focus on the prediction when you got faith. Don't focus on the prediction of people when you got faith. Don't focus on the predictions of people who are not connected to what you connected to when you got faith. Don't focus on the prediction of people who are not connected to what you're connected to, especially when you're hoping and believing and trusting in that which you are connected to when you got faith. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little excited in that moment because you may not understand my smile if you was not there for my tears. If you wasn't there for my tears, you're not going to understand my smile. If you wasn't there for my tears, you're not going to understand my joy. If you wasn't there for my tears, you're not going to understand my how elated I am. And I'm not going to ask for forgiveness. I'm going to just say, if you had a clue, it all makes sense. And I ain't the only one. So I'm just really grateful. I'm really grateful. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm taking that moment. That moment right there was more so to God than it was to y'all. Because it's really true that when you think of how good God have been to you in your life, it gets you excited. And I'm just like, God, okay, I need to keep it. I need to keep it steady because that's not what I came on here to do. For the last 48 hours, I have been um, resting and I've kind of gone outside. I was not able to leave Chicago on Thursday because my family wanted to have dinner with me to celebrate my birthday. Um, but on Friday morning, I got up and I accomplished a couple things, and then I went to the airport. Um, and the reason why I came on here today is because 39th chapter of my life. Excuse me. 39th chapter of my life started with something that it started with something that the 39th chapter of my life started with favor, started with blessings that I could not have imagined in an honest sense. And so what I mean by that is I want to come on here and I want to thank you guys again so much because on the morning of my 39th, on the morning of Friday, I went to the airport because people who were on Investigate Navigate um, took my laughing but very, very serious joke serious, and y'all paid for me to be able to come to where I am now. Um, I'm here where I'm at. I didn't get to leave Thursday. I left on Friday, and I spent Friday and Saturday, just kind of more so um, trying to relax, to think, um, to just really trying to kind of ponder with God. But it was such a blessing to me because um, I started off with favor. Y'all made that happen for me. And there is nothing that I could say right now that will truly express my gratitude because I just did not really think that people were going to do anything for me for my birthday. Most of my life, my birthday has been just another day. My biological father didn't even really celebrate birthdays. It was never like a big deal. Um, I've only celebrated in 39 years of my life. I've only had two birthday celebrations, and now this would be the third. The difference in this one is that you all sent me somewhere, and I am so grateful for that. And I'll tell you why that makes sense in a second. Please bear with me. I know y'all got to get ready to go to church. I think I'm going to get up and do the same. But for the 2 days, I just been kind of sort of counting up the cost about what 39 is going to look like. Um, okay, hold on, y'all. So I got to say something. I have to say something. I give no rights to the usage of my logo um, to anybody outside of those who I consider to be an ally or a decent human being. But I give no rights to the usage of my logo or my likeness or my image. So moving forward, I just been really counting up the costs. I wanted to come on here and I just wanted to kind of share my heart. If you guys would allow it on my birthday, I wanted to do that. That's the gift that I want. I want to talk to you guys about what weighs heavy on my heart. But I was able to get here and it was taken care of by y'all. Those of you all who contributed, less than 20 people contributed to make sure that I had some sense of a celebration. And it was amazing. 20 people sending me on sending me out of town was great because if they hadn't done it, I would have done it myself, but it would have been on a greater pool. Um, and I'll explain that. I'm gonna explain that in a second. But today, today is my actual birthday. It's my actual birthday. And I want to let you all know how I plan on paying it forward because of what you all have done for me. The last 2 days, I've had to deal with a bit of wrestling, a little bit of counting up the costs, a little bit of relaxing because we got a lot of work to do in 39 years of living, especially when I wasn't supposed to make it this far. I have a, I have an obligation, but I'm excited about it to do what God has let me stay alive to do. And today I'm going to leave here. And so I'll pretty much be spending my birthday on planes. I have to take two different planes. I'm going to be traveling for a total of about 9 hours. Let me say it again. I got to take two planes. I'm going to be traveling for a total of about 9 hours because there's no direct flight from here to where I have to go. I have one alternative, and that's to get a direct flight from where I am directly back to Chicago, then to have to get up early in the morning to get on another plane to get up and go to Detroit. But from where I am to Detroit, Michigan, there is no direct flight. So I have to travel 9 hours and 20 minutes approximately if everything goes smooth. That means my entire birthday, the actual day that I turned 39, I would be on planes and sitting in airports. And the reason why that is significant to me is because I'm only doing it to pay it forward. I realize and recognize that the support that I've garnered is because do the work. I show up. I bring the awareness. I bring the encouragement. Um, that's the only reason why y'all connected, because of purpose, not because of my celebrity or my notability or my finances or my looks or all the other stuff. Y'all show up because y'all got my back because of the work that we both are accomplishing. Again, I'm sorry if I'm talking weird. My mind is just in a place that I got to transition to just talk. But my point in that is, thank you, and to pay it forward, I'm going to get on this plane. And so this message is not most specifically to the general public, but I'm going to say this. I really want to celebrate my birthday today. I really want to stay where I'm at. I really want to continue to count up the cost. I really want to relax and just have a good time, but I can't. I can't. I can't. And if I started my birthday with favor, then it means that I'm also going to start my 39th year of life with sowing seeds. And so I'm saying that because I need somebody to hear me on this live broadcast. I got a few people who really, for their own inward issues, have a problem with me. But if we be honest, I ain't done nothing to nobody. And actually, if we be honest, the people who I actually done something to, they moved on doing other things in their life. But I got people who are in pursuit of me. They're in pursuit of me, and I ain't done nothing to them. Not for real. Everything that I've done, hold on one second. Everything that I've done has been a response and a defense. And so the reason why I got to get on a plane for 9 hours and 20 minutes today, unless I go back to Chicago to get up in the wee hours of the morning, that's my two options, is because on Monday morning, there is no way that I can get from where I am all the way to Detroit just so I could be in Flint, Michigan to do a press conference. A press conference. A press conference. A press conference where the mayor of the city is already trying to stop us from being able to do it. Calling this field house, why y'all letting them do that press conference there, wielding their corrupt influence and power, trying to stop it. You got a few people who are being negative to be detractors, trying to stop it. Y'all hear me? If you are on this live stream and you live in the city of Flint, I understand that if you got kids, bills, responsibility, I get that. But I'm just going to say it like this, and this is why I'm on live stream. Listen to what I'm saying. See, there are people who are saying, Jedediah, you tell too much. That's transparency. I know what I'm doing. I know how different it is. I know the weight. I know the cost. These are the things that people don't often consider. And it hurts me to the core. Because, and I get it, you get it critiqued, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I don't think people have yet to pay attention to who I am. And it's okay. It is okay. I'm not on here because I need money from YouTube. I'm not on here because I need something to talk about and or do. I'm on here to be the proof. And if the world won't get it, if it takes me, and that's my real thing to God. If it takes me up out of here, don't let my labor be in vain. I am not on here looking for nothing but to say this. Y'all have already given me the favor to be here. I got 2 days. But on my actual birthday, there's so much going on. Number one, I'm by myself. I'm by myself. One of the things that I wish that I could have said today is that I was on here with my family, but I'm not. It is a cost. It is a cost. It is a cost. All y'all finna go to, everybody that's finna go to church, that's finna praise God for the goodness and for what he has done. I want to give you the best lesson. If you suffer with him, you'll reign with him. How many people are going to jump up this morning to say, I'm ready to suffer? Everybody finna new house, new car, new relationship. But what if God wanted you to use your same voice? Are we going to go and give God the same praise for that? Listen to what I'm saying to you, because there is a point here, and I love everybody, but I don't want any more advice right now. Please let me get this out. I'm telling the people of Flint that on my birthday, I think y'all are worth traveling 9 hours and 20 minutes on planes, or riding 3 or 2.5 hours on a plane to Chicago and having to go to bed soon enough to have to wake up and get on another plane just to come, have to rent a car and drive all the way to Flint, an hour, just to stand with you in a press conference. That's my point. And it took me 23 minutes to get it out. But understand that this ain't no game. This is a real lifestyle that God has given me. And that's why I've been sitting for 2 days in this room just thanking God for 39 years. Most of my life I've been an advocate. Flint, you are worth it. I believe that God has an intent. I believe that God has your back. But faith without works is dead. And since I have come to Flint, it keep on being exposed to me, and not because of me. Don't miss my words. But since I've come to Flint and I paid attention, I've come to discover that y'all got so much more than a water crisis. Y'all got a character crisis in the city. Because of the character crisis, it has literally affected the quality of life of people in a negative way. Got a character crisis. And this administration that you all are facing with has been so emboldened in their visible and careless corruption, feeling that they are untouchable, that they have doubled down. And I've never, ever, ever in my life, ever, ever in my advocacy did I ever think, I never thought in America that there would be this type or this level of blatant corruption unchecked. 39 years old. I got an announcement to make in my own city. My heart is heavy because I wish that I could focus on building myself, my own family. I got people who literally are, some of them are harassing me, stalking me. I got people who are trying to be the architects of my destruction that I've had no interest in and have truly done nothing to. This isn't a fun life all the time. It has its blessings, it has its benefits, but this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion a favorable seat at times, because I wish I didn't have to deal with or do some of the things that I deal with and that I have to do. And there's some people who would have rather that I come on here and celebrate turning 39, but I did not get kept by God just so it was just because he wanted me to celebrate. I was kept by God because I have something to accomplish. And every single person that is under the sound of my voice right now, you've been kept by God because you have something to accomplish. And all of these things and all of these people who are telling me happy birthday, it's great, but they are not. But you don't. But if I was to give you the description of my birthday, I would say it's a burdened birthday, because I'm burdened with what God has given me. And so I spent the last 2 days of my life, thanks to y'all, literally saying, God, that if this be the will that you have for me, I'm ready to do it. And at 39 years old, whatever it is that you want me to give, I want to give it to you, because obviously you still got me here for a reason. And I came on this live stream because what I want to tell you was that for the last 38 years of my life, I have been fighting, but while I've been fighting, I've been trying to figure it out, but I'm finally in a place where I am no longer ashamed of who God made me to be in the way that he made me to be. And I sat down with God, not with the pain of why, but I sat down with the pain of God, I trust you. And it's a different kind of pain. And I want the world to hear me say this. And I want the world to know what I mean. And while I was sitting in this hotel and I was watching, because y'all may not be in this space and you don't know, you might not know what it feels like. But when you see a man on the screen say that they wish that you would basically cease to exist. And I'm like, when they didn't even exist in my life, they inserted themselves in my world. And they are in pursuit for their own inward issues. It hit differently. And we won't, but I don't know, because maybe y'all not, maybe the world ain't paying attention. But you got lawmakers in Texas on the run from their state. But people just want to go and, godly, I'm not going to do this on this live stream. I just thank y'all so much. And because of that, I'm going to pay it forward, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep on working. And I'm going to go back to Flint because they were cheated. And everybody knows it. There was a police chief in Philadelphia who said that people are targeted because they are powerless. Because they're powerless. The number one thing that I listened to a resident in Flint say yesterday, he said, sorry, 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 sorry. Thousands registered to vote. Not even 50% of them, but it's their quality of life that's affected the most. Some of us are fighting so hard because we're fighting for ourselves. I don't fight hard. Can I tell you the formula that have caused me to be my own boss majority of my life? I'm not fighting for myself. I need y'all to put a different type of praise on your worship this morning. Thank you, Stanley. 17% showed up to vote. But that man was maced while literally trying to be an entrepreneur and having a celebration on the side of the road with his family because only 17% of Flint showed up to vote. They were cheated out of an election because only 17% showed up to vote. But they all gonna go to church. God, we looking for a miracle. God, we looking for a breakthrough. God, we looking for answers. God, we're looking for strength. God, increase my faith. And God got to be looking at them saying, you got to be kidding me right now. You cannot get it if you are not willing to give nothing for it. And the crazy part is, and this is my birthday, so I can say it because I need to say it. I can't want it better for you than you want it for yourself. But if you got a man that's willing to sit on a plane for 9 hours to come to do a press conference, well, I don't even know if the media gonna show up. Flint ain't got no excuse. Well, I'm under the threat of a tyrant mayor who would love to figure out ways to get his hands on me. Now, let's be clear about this press conference. We're going to call out corruption. We have evidence of it. We're going to stand on the public way. The community center is a meeting point. We will be in front of it. Press conference will commence at 11. I need to make sure that I'm very clear here. I initially was calling my supporters to go with me, and then I realized I can't do that. I am not about to keep on doing all the heavy lifting. So I will be there with whoever shows up because this is for Flint. I will not fight corruption if y'all are going to be complicit with it. We have committed at least $1,000. We're going to bring you at least $1,000. So I don't want to hear about how much money this would cost. I don't want to hear that this is for click, likes, or views because you don't give up your birthday to ride 9 hours on a plane if it's not in your soul. And it's not because it's what I want to do. It's because I believe it's what God called me to do. But what's clear for me is that after all we've been through, I can't even give y'all a pass because I showed up in Flint for court. And when I went to go knock on doors, it was literally 3 of us. Then it was 5 of us for a couple moments. And then it was 3 of us again. My heart is aching for Thornton Township because I fully believe that arrogance and greed have taken a seat that could do so much good. And I said that I was going to stand down, but I got to be honest, y'all, it just ain't in me. Thank y'all. I'm sorry if I'm not entertaining or celebratory because I'm burdened, tired, but I'm trusting. And I just want to share this with y'all. But the one thing that I am so happy about today is that I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. It doesn't mean that I don't feel, but I'm free. There's real pain that is in me, but when you are free and there is pain, that is what God processes and turns into power. Not my own power, but it's the power to prove. And if that was a message that I wanted people to get out of this, that's it. You're going to have pain in every stage of your life, but don't be bound with it. Be free. Well, Jedediah, what do you mean? What are you free from? I'm free from living for everybody else. That's what I'm free from. And you got to get there. You got to get there. I'm free from living for everybody else. Only person that I want to live for now in my life is God. We got to get up. We got to get up, and we got to get active on a whole nother level, a whole nother playing field. I got one birthday request. Here is my birthday request. After I leave from that press conference, I'm going right back to Chicago. I got to be honest. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is this. If you are somebody in Chicago on the 13th, that morning, I'm going to be also doing another press conference at 10 o'clock. It's another one of those situations where we're just going to do the best we can, but I am calling for 100 people, between 50 and 100 people to join me on the morning of the 13th at 10 o'clock. The reason why I can't say where it is because we're working out some of the logistics. But I have an announcement to make as it relates to what I have decided to do concerning running for United States Congress. And that decision is going to primarily affect the United States of America. But that seat that sparked the decision and what it derives out of is the Illinois 2nd Congressional District for the United States House of Representatives, currently held by Robin Kelly. Robin Kelly is running for a higher seat. It will be an open seat. And it is important for me, for those of you all who got any kind of heartbeat for me, to hear me ask of this. And that is that you be on standby. Let me know in my inbox on my Facebook page. Just let me know you want the details. And at 10 o'clock, I'm asking for you all to make a sacrifice for me. If you can, be there. And I'm going to tell you guys where on either Monday or Tuesday. But just be prepared to be with me on the 13th, the morning of the 13th, so that I can make that announcement. The announcement is going to be simple. The announcement is if I'm going to run or if I'm going to support somebody, become a part of their camp. It's a lot going on in this nation. A lot. A lot. So thank you all for your birthday regard. 39 years. Got work to do. And if you're somebody who would give me a opportunity to be greater than what I've been, and give yourself an opportunity to join in with greatness to make an impact and a difference, then I want you to join for the culture, because that'll be my focus. And that'll be literally how we make the difference that's going to be made. You could join for the culture. It's literally $15 a month on this YouTube page. You'll be added into a space where other members are from across this nation. And we're going to build that as high and as powerful and as effective as God can and will allow us to. I have a desire. I want to speak to Tiffany Hinyard. I want to speak to Tiffany Hinyard. So I'm putting it in the internet space. And I'm giving this. Mama, you know I'm on this live stream. No.
Well, I want to talk to you when you're done because I think
I'm still sitting on it. So, Mama, can I call you when I get done? Because I'm sitting on it. They'll be watching me sitting on the phone. Okay, last thing, and then I'm done. No. I'm sorry, y'all. So I just want to say this I want to say this, and then I'm going to get off of here. Y'all, I have not done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. And there are people, I mean, for the most part, I guess if you're watching this channel, then you would have an understanding of what's going on for the most part. But the one thing that I did get to do in this reflective time is to really, and I think that, people often say how they feel about who I am when they're against me. They call me like a narcissist or arrogant or full of myself, of those types of things. A showman. I am a Leo now. And there are traits in my zodiac that I guess I can't get away from. I do talk and I quite a bit, but it's because I speak from experiences and not just in hopes. But at the core of what I do and I live my life is not an I. My life is all about we, us, they, them. I got the proof of it, and not what I necessarily say, but in what I do. But I haven't done anything wrong. And I'm really going through what people are accusing me of. I want y'all to know that I am not stalking anybody. I don't spend my time harassing anybody. Most of the times when things are addressed, it is a reaction. Because I'm visible, and obviously people who are against me, they don't always show what the cause is. They just show the effect. I commit at this stage of my life to a greater level of fuck around and find out. I refuse to be anybody's pushover or anybody's punching bag. I'm not about chaos. I'm not about drama, but I am about truth. And what I have discovered, especially in this world, is that truth is actually offensive. Most people who request it, they don't really desire it, they just require it. Let me say that. Let me make it make sense. This world, this world don't desire truth. They just require truth. In other words, truth is okay until truth is about them. So they require everything to be truthful, but they don't desire to have to face, address, exude, carry. Somebody tell me I just lied. And that's what I discovered. Truth is offensive. And my direct confrontational style of advocacy is all about truth. Thank you, Erston, for sending me $25 for my birthday. And we have built our realities around falsehoods. Because one thing I can tell you is that truth does make, but when you have truth in your life, it gives you a stand that is not often understood by flodgers, by cappers, by people who are weird. Because why would you want to live in any other thing but truth? And the truth, and your truth, and truths. For example, all these people that are of our community will always talk about races. We always talk about somebody trying to keep us down. We're always talking about how we ought to have black pride and black love. The most times I see black people express love for each other is when you see the rhythm, when you experience the cooking, or when you identify the soul. And I'm talking about the creativity because it's there. But what you don't find about my community as it relates to truth is how we stand up for our history. And then when another entity decides that they want to erase it, we express our anger. But the truth is, we don't really care. Because if we did, if we cared, why would we be concerned about somebody erasing our history on a national level when we don't preserve it in our own home? How many? Yeah, I ain't gonna get a lot of likes on this. I can't think of the last time where I heard of or sat at a table and we just talked about the power of people before us, like a Marcus Garvey or a Malcolm X or a Dr. King or Sojourner Truth or Rosa Parks, and how that translates in today. But we sure as hell will complain when somebody want to write us out of the history books. And then we still say, we too busy to vote. 39 years old, I'm more clear about the fact that we need the truth and people don't like it than I've ever been in my entire life. So I'm not about to be the person that wants to get up there and get myself for battle for something that we don't value. Who does that? Truth is, we got to get better and do better. And when we start becoming, let me help you all out about what becoming secure in my identity has done for me. I'm not intimidated by nobody else's. I'm not. I'm not angry about it. I'm not intimidated about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm not moved by it. I'm not offended by it. But I didn't come on here to preach. I just came on here to say thank you and to let you know that at 39 years old, as of right now, there ain't no slowing down. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to rev up, but I'm not going to rev up in foolishness. I'm going to rev up and be as effective as I can. And I want for the people of Flint, Thornton Township, Harvey, Illinois, and the people of For the Culture to know you still got a partner in me. And this 39th year of life is going to be the year where you all see me be so intentional and see me be so focused. And so I just really thank you guys for sowing into that, because you guys gave me the last 48 hours. I've counted up the cost. I've crossed over to the threshold of the year 39, and I got to get up and get to work. I cannot celebrate right now because I got too much pain in my heart. I can't celebrate because I'm burdened. I feel let down. I feel violated. I feel targeted. I feel alone. In some regards, I feel discouraged. I feel like the weight is heavy. I feel like I'm being attacked. I feel in many instances overwhelmed. And just as a man, as a human being, I'm tired. I want to just find my own family, my own peace, my own space, my own time. But what I do know is that you cannot reap a harvest if you don't sow a seed. So because I'm not where I want to be, that means that I got to continue to plow the dirt, plant the seeds, water it, watch it, make sure that there are no weeds, and then I got to wait. Jesus. This ain't nothing that ain't nobody finna put their hands on my head, because it ain't gonna be magic. Ain't nobody about to just speak a word and it's just gonna manifest. Ain't nobody gonna I'm not finna just dance or shout. I sure as hell ain't finna be able to just put no money in nothing and it come. I got to work. I got to get up. I got to sacrifice. I got to trust. I got to believe. I got to keep on showing up for work, even when it ain't no paycheck involved. I need somebody that's on this live to hear me. And if you are in the middle of making a decision of if you're going to do it or not, I got one word for you. And I got one phrase for you. Do it or it won't happen. You got to get up and you got to get to it, or it's not going to happen. You got to get up. You got to be honest. You got to be truthful. You got to count the cost, or it's not going to happen. You got to get comfortable in who you are, and you got to get comfortable in your limitations, and you got to become aware of your possibilities, and you got to get to it, and you got to make it happen. All I am asking for, I'm not asking for no stuff, because guess what? Guess what? Guess what I figured out? Only what I do for Christ will last for me. It might be somebody else for you, but only what I do for Christ is going to last for me. But I believe that God loves all of his children and that the children of Flint is worth fighting for. Fighting alongside and fighting with. Somebody said, well, Flint ain't getting up and fighting for itself. And I will say to them, the devil is a liar. I might not have seen 5,000 people vote, but I saw a handful of people show up every time. And it is those handful of people who you show up for. Jesus! I wish that I could just get out all of the thoughts in my mind and in my heart and what I've been processing. But every time somebody call me and say, why are you doing that? They're not doing it for themselves. They're not showing up for themselves. Then I get to remind them God didn't send us because they had it all together. God sent us because we got to inspire somebody. We got to educate somebody. We got to reach somebody. How can they hear without a preacher? But the follow up was what I always love to say. But how can the preacher preach unless they've been sent? Everybody who vote and everybody who disregards the right to vote did not march for it. So I'm coming on here today because what is a birthday if we're not doing if it's not purposeful? What is a birthday if it's not going to have a meaning behind it? What is a birthday if there's no accomplishment, if there's no point? So many people birthday came and you drank and you partied and you did everything you wanted to do, and now what? You got to survive? The devil is a liar. I'm not going to have a birthday. I got a blessed life. One day. ain't going to determine my joy. But because I'm willing to get on a plane for 9 hours or go to Chicago and get up in the wee hours of the morning to get on another plane, to make the sacrifice. The last 2 days of my life, I didn't have to pay a dime. Jesus. So there are people who are sitting in this internet. You want to call me a scammer, a fraud, a con artist, a liar, and I'm not none of that. Because in your life, your construct is that you got to get up and go to work and pay your bills and then find time to have fun and enjoy your life and the kingdom God given to you. So you don't understand my seat. I want to explain it to you. To whom much is given, much is required. And if you stop pursuing a person, and I ain't worried about you, because I'm telling you, I'm going to still punch you in the face in defense of myself. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And I may not be the best fighter, but I'm going to fight like hell to let you understand that I am no pushover. That's what 39 is for me. I will not allow somebody to make me feel less than because of things I didn't architect in my own life. I'm not going to be afraid of what I have to face when I believe that God told me to face it. I love y'all for loving me. And I hope that my message is understood and not lost. I hope that you all get my point and that you see my heartbeat in this moment. And I'll leave it at that for today. For me, as far as me talking. Now I'm going to ask, is there any questions? I always do 5. I want to answer 5 questions. And then I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready to get to this airport. But I want to let y'all know that I am I'm waiting on God, and I'm just trusting God for Jedediah. While I believe in what he'll do for those that he'll send me to help and to serve and to stand alongside. There's a lady named Rose Morrow in Flint, Michigan. And this lady Rose, I didn't know she was running for council. And I'd come out there and I met her when her campaign headquarters was on fire. I had no thought about it. I just thought that it was interesting how this woman's place was caught on fire. And I met her. She was very nice to me. And then I would at some point be coming back to Flint to do this walk. And then we had these logistical issues. And she had called me and said, look, I talked to this man. Let's go to this park that he has. And I'm going to do a flyer. And there are just so many people who are saying they're coming. And it ended up basically being a farce. There was no people. The park was right, but in my mind, she tried to usurp the moment. And in my mind, she also tried to sabotage it. And that's just my opinion. And that is what my opinion is, based on a preponderance of evidence and my experience. And so when the issue happened, I just let it go. And then I moved forward. And now the same individual have shown up. And we said we were going to help Beverly with her challenge. And then Rose says, oh, I'll commit to $50. And I wrote on the status, I said to the guy who asked for everybody to do it, which is Stanley Woods, who's in the comment section, I said, don't hold your breath on this one. And then I got a call from Miss Beverly. And she said, Jedediah. I said, what's up, Miss B? Miss B? She said, did you say something about Rose? And I said, yes. I said on a statement, on a status, don't hold your breath on this one. And I was telling him that because his response to her was, and I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna do 52. And I just wanted to make sure I told him the truth as I know it. Don't give if you think that it's gonna be a match and you're gonna end up with $100 for this, because you'll end up probably with 50 because of her. And this is why I don't know her well enough. But if you are somebody that has good intention, then when you do something so bad, or when something happens as bad as it did, you would have the character to call and apologize, to make clear, to repair the breach. But what I find is that people will do stuff and then they'll go on, not understanding that you've caused real pain and real injury and real offense, because I let you create a flyer. Then you create a flyer that went against the grain of what we talked about. You created a narrative. And so what's my point in saying this? Is that I don't want to be around her. There is a level of grace. There is a level of mercy. But we cannot keep giving people access that don't repent and that don't resolve or bring restitution, in a sense, that don't have a regard for righteousness. So I'm not a person of chaos. I'm a person of honesty. As far as I'm concerned, and this is what I told Ms. Bev, because Ms. Bev said, well, now Rose is saying people are saying they don't want to contribute because of what you said. And I told her, well, don't worry about it. I'll give you the extra $50. And we will fight like hell to raise whatever people don't want to give. But for somebody to call you, well, now people are calling me saying they don't want to give. You a liar. And I'm 39 years old. I'm not going to wait till I'm 89 years old to become eccentric with the truth. You a liar and you full of hell. And I side out who burned down your facility now that I've gotten a glimpse of your character. And see things like that right here, right now. People say, oh, he chaotic. No, no, no. Let the former police officer stay her long haired ass at home. And I mean it. Stay home. How dare you? When our people are not saying they don't want to contribute. You a liar and you're full of hell. Because we're not doing this for Beverly. We're doing this for righteousness. And we're doing this for the city. And we're doing this literally for justice sake. And if you are doing it for Beverly, then you don't even understand what's being done. Because there are lives that are going to be affected for generations based on what's going on. So so the first thing I did when I said that I was coming, I said, I humble myself. I'm going to reach out to everybody. I'll reach out to Arthur Woodson. I'll reach out to the council people, whoever. Because of the moment, I will submit myself. But I won't fake. And I won't play games. And I won't try to make people feel good, especially not in their mess. Because that's not how you get results. That ain't truth. That's people set free. I want to be made free. So I wanted to make sure I was clear on that. She said the gentleman AC Doom has got a call. Well, will you show up and will you stand? His answer was so terrible to me because he was another candidate. You should want to pair up with another person who experienced an injustice like you. Your name was slandered. No, you lack the courage, and that's why you don't, in my opinion, deserve to be in the seat. So my sacrifice with Beverly, not for Beverly, is because I believe that the truth is. Did y'all catch that? This is for the sake of Flint. And when you got to be real, down the middle, you won't be popular. I'm not popular, but don't get it twisted. I am loved. Did you hear that? That's what I want y'all to tell yourself today. I don't need to be popular, but I am loved. I'm not popular, but I am loved. Now, what was the question? Lady Brown wants to know, what do you believe is the real reason these people are getting restraining orders? Is it to keep you out of meetings?
Before we let you go or whatever, I want you, you got the floor. Whatever you feel that you want to get out there, something you want to clarify, stuff that you feel that people are missing, whatever's the case, you have the floor.
Well, keep sharing the information, y'all, and keep contradicting him every time. Don't let a post go without a contradiction. If you see this guy putting some narrative out there, keep sharing that, because what happens is that people are able to look up the trail of it. You got to leave breadcrumbs on this guy. That's why I left those videos up from like 2016, 2017. So in case he happened to try what he tried. And so when he came in the dawn, I said, let me be quiet because people change, and maybe he changed, right? But I was really proven wrong, like, very quickly. And, I just need people, with this advocacy thing, a lot of times people who are mentally challenged, or, people who have other identities, they'll try to recreate themselves in advocacy. And you see it all the time. You see some of the biggest creeps in the world in social justice work, because they can use that as a platform and a proxy to scam and con, and it's like
Take up too much of your time.
It's like the hero with the Tiffany movement, but now people see him for what he really is. So I think I see a change in the air, and I think his House of Cards is starting to collapse.
So what does a win look like for you in this situation?
Well, it's already happening. A win looks like for me is that, for me, I mean, it's going to be one or two ways, or maybe a third way, which we won't discuss. But the first way is Jed goes to jail. Second way is Jed leaves Illinois. And then, there's a third option, maybe he just leave altogether, So, I think those three options would be pretty decent. Any one of them.
When you say, I want to clarify, when you say if he leaves altogether, what do you mean by that?
I mean, maybe one day, maybe he just ceased to exist one day or something like that. I mean, you just don't know.
Understood. I guess I don't want to take up too much of your time, but before we let you go or whatever.
Wow. So, Lady Brown, I don't have a lot that I want to say to that, except for I don't take threats lightly at all. I don't take threats lightly. I don't play with them. Hold on, what is this?
And committing crimes and really hurting people and shit, then we got a problem. Then we got a problem that need to be dealt with. Okay? Then we got a problem and you need to be dealt with. Okay? So, but people and shit, then we got a problem. All right? In his private life, he at work with the shit, in the office with the shit. How you do that? Where you do that at? Bloodshot. It still results to be Clark's pet. All right. And y'all know we all know Christy Nome and the Department of Justice, you know what they like to do to their pets. Whoa. Okay, so this is pretty much what's gonna happen to this man, because he's walking around like he's Christopher Clark's little lap dog. So you know what happens to lap dogs? Okay. All right. Under this administration, you ain't got a chance, motherfucker. You about to get your ass. Whoa.
So that's all I'm going to say, is that we are receiving a greater level of spiritual warfare, and people are threatening and saying that they desire for my death. And I just don't take lightly to people that make threats, and I never will. And it has gotten to a point where I believe it is sick. And so when you say, what is my point? So the first person has been pursuing me for a long time as it relates to my advocacy, is because whenever I'm somewhere, they in a sense don't exist. But even before I'm there, you don't even know they're there, because they're just simply not effective. But I do believe that there is a mental obsession. There's a mental obsession. And I think that there's a level of mental instability. But I'm not a person who be on things saying somebody is something mentally disturbed or things like that, because I think that is serious and it shouldn't be played with. And I wouldn't want to put that on anybody. I wouldn't want to put that on anybody without it being diagnosed and clinically proven, because just like calling the police on something that is not a police issue, I think that it ties up those resources. You feel me? It ties those resources up. What is going on? I thought the main objective is to get rid of corruption. Now the only thing that the other YouTubers do is talk about Jedediah. I do think that there is a level of, there is a fan base around this stuff, y'all. This isn't just, so it's gotten to a point where, it's not a big fan base. So, I'm not like, I'm not worried. I'm just not gonna play with it. It takes one coward and one idiot to do something that is irreversible. And that's why I'm not gonna play with it. And then another thing is that I don't play police games. So I don't be again trying to tie up courts and do all of this stuff. And then it's like a lot of money associated with every move. And so I'm very, very meticulous about what I take to court. And so oftentimes people will do things and then they don't see the repercussions of it, and then they'll think it's okay. But there's a fan base around this, so we put our strike team back in place in INA, and they've been doing a very great job of striking things, and people are starting to get strikes, and now they're mad. And then now they're sending messages. I demand this and I demand that. But for us, it's like we weren't even bothering you. And it's like they are the bullies who can't handle getting the hit back. And so now we're at the point where we're striking back, and we're just not going to play with it. But for somebody to apply for so for somebody to be, playing or to be saying things like they want a person to expire or transition, we've taken this to a whole different level. And Jedediah is, as you all know, I don't run. I walk right back. I don't run. I don't run. It's not my nature. But it's perverted. It's very unfortunate. But I want to be clear here. On this end, it's unprovoked. But it will not be something that I tolerate, not on any level. And how do you go get a restraining order and then get on the internet basically saying you want somebody to be unalived? How do you do that? So it is what it is. Press conference is on Monday morning, starts at 11. We're gathering at 10 at the Brunson Community Center. I think that's what it's called, the Brunfield Community Center, something like that. Okay, 4 more questions. Do give up. The Burston Community Center. Minion is messy and been messy. I love now how they are saying people's names in the chat now to call out people that are now with them. We see you struggle, streamers. Yeah, I don't really even really regard him. I thought it was cool at first, and then I discovered his character, and I just kind of laugh at him because when you're a grown man, you do know not to take cartoons serious. You don't take cartoons serious when you're a grown man, and that's all. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not really bothered by a cartoon in any shape, form, or fashion, y'all. This is my stuff on the bed. You can see all my stuff in the background. The logo ain't working no more. I mean, it ain't nothing. It's just clean up. It's clean clothes. Y'all see it? Clean clothes being packed up so I can go. That's the stuff I ain't wore yet. Have you noticed you have your new Black Panther hat? Yes. Yes. This is my gift to myself. I got the name Black and Gold. I got me, it's my favorite hat. So he back, y'all. He back. All right, y'all. Come on now. Like I just feel like all the stuff that I be doing and saying, how y'all don't be having no questions? Four questions. You ask me the right question, you get the right answer. Y'all don't just watch this because y'all think I'm cute. It's something that you come here to get and look for. Get it. Who took your videos down and why? I took my videos off of YouTube, but they are still up on Facebook. And so the reason why I took them down on YouTube is because we're moving towards a different type of content, as well as because we're moving to a different content, as well as I'm actually looking at different options and things to go in. Because I want when people come to the INA channel, they'll see specifically the content that I'm looking for them to see. Everything else, you can get it off Facebook. When is court in Flint? I don't remember. But the next court date is just a status hearing, and I think that's when they're going to give me we're going to probably settle the lawyer issue. It's a misdemeanor case. It carries a maximum of 90 days in jail. And I'm trying to do so much. I'm like, do I want to pay a lawyer $10,000, $12,000 for this case? Or do I want to try to get a public defender, even though I don't trust that system? Or do I want to try to represent myself? That's pretty much what I'm wrestling, but I have to finalize that within the next week or so. And then there's not a lot of lawyers there that's taking the case because everybody knows it's like a bull crap case. Why is Grace Levi bothering you? Third question. You still don't think you should watermark your videos so nobody can play them? I don't know how to do that, but our cyber team will be helping me with that, I'm sure, in the very near future. It's a misdemeanor charge of disturbing the peace or attempted disturbing the peace, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so Levi wanted to be Jay's co-host. Is that not? I think Levi is. Hard-faced Grace Leroy. I think that hard-faced Grace Leroy is. Let me see. How do I say this? I don't always just pay attention to what a person does. I also pay attention to why. I try to figure out why they do it. I think that with this minion person, I think that he just honestly is ignorant. My assessment of him is he's just ignorant. I don't know what he's accomplished in his life, but I think that he wants to accomplish some things, but I think he goes about it the wrong way. And because he's ignorant, he kind of sort of stifles his effectiveness. And I'm not saying this to him specifically, but it's like taking somebody out of the projects and putting them right directly in the boardroom, and they still got the thinking of, talking any kind of way, acting any kind of way, responding any kind of way. That's how I look at him. And so he thinks, oh, I'm in the boardroom, but you need to grow. You need to grow up. And the reason why I say that is because I watched him apply his information. And when I watched him apply his information, it's biased. It's actually, not only is it biased, but it's short-sighted. It's not intuitive. It's not in depth. And a lot of times when he presents it, he's trying to accomplish something, but it is not accomplish awareness. He's trying to push an agenda, and that is the difference. And in him. So I don't know. Let me see if I can make that make sense. Because now you got me here, so I'm here. He's trying to push an agenda. So in Harvey, me and this minion guy would have been respectful, cordial. We probably wouldn't have had any issue. But when he discovered that, oh, he's supportive, or he's saying that Clark isn't bad, but in my mind, Clark is bad. Never been to Harvey, didn't do any research, only going off of what he thinks he's seeing in news clips and things of that nature. Um, Having no investigative ability from what I'm seeing. I've been, he put up a flyer trail about some in-depthness, and like everybody's like, oh, this is good. But I'm like, these are only news clippings. Now, news clippings are things reported as things that are found to be factual or things that have happened. But in many cases, if you understand the layout of Chicago media, then you understand that they look in Chicago sometimes for hot topics just to talk about. That's one of the reasons why Chicago is like an advocacy capital, because if you can stir things the right way, then they'll report it. And so let me figure out how to make it make sense. In a smaller town, so like in Flint, they're agenda based, right? They're pushing the agenda of the powers that be because they're trying to keep their finances and their sponsorships intact. So it's hard to get a neutral reporting out of Flint because it's a small area that is essentially it is dictated. In another market than somewhere like a Atlanta, they get sponsorships and things of that nature, but they don't have these huge networks. So what they're doing is that with the resources they have, they kind of report things that like that's just happening. Like, but it's kind of like, let me tell you what's going on, kind of thing. Let me tell you what went down, you know. But in Chicago is more like, what's the trend? It makes sense? Y'all, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't just be doing stuff like I be thinking, looking, processing, gathering, da da da, da, and it don't always make it what I say law. But these are my perspectives, and but it's never derived out of just opinion. And so, if it's a hot topic in Chicago, it's on the news, and they'll have to sift through the details of it. And so basically, with this guy, you taking these reportings, and so for example, they're talking about the woman who got her leg bit off. Yes, that is the responsibility of the city to be able to have services for that. But if the math ain't mathing, then it just ain't mathing. And then when you look at the core of why the math is the way it is, it shifts your perspective. And because of that scenario for me and Harvey, this young man or older guy, I don't even know his age, he decides I'm the enemy because I'm standing in the way of what he wants to see happen in a sense. But if I would have gone and I would have been pressing against Clark, I would probably still be a cool guy. Well, he just doing what he got to do. He this, that, and the third. So I just think he is ignorant to accomplish what he wants to accomplish. And so, but I don't really consider him or take him serious um, because I'm not, it's just not there. And then I listen, he called me names, and I look at, he's sitting behind a cartoon, and I'm looking at the information, but also on top of that, you look at the analytics. Why would I be moved in a real sense? Um, can you not take the videos off of YouTube for people that like to multitask or watch you on TV? We can do that on Facebook. Interesting. Interesting. Um, so here it goes with Grace. I'm finna try to explain Grace. Hard face Grace Leroy. I think Grace really believes she's righteous. I do. I believe Grace really thinks she's righteous. And I believe that, okay, Lord, give me the wisdom in how I say it. Because I think that I think that I think Grace is having a hard time deciphering the voices. That's what I think. I think Grace is having a hard time deciphering the voices. And I think that she means well in her mind. She's really doing what she's really doing. Oh, it's gone. Hello? Yeah, of course not. I'll see what I can do. All right. Um, so I think Grace is having a hard time deciphering the voices in her head. And I think she means well from her knowing in her internal sense. Um, but I think that she's a miss. I think she's just misfiring, for lack of better words. So I don't really take her stuff personal. Like she really believed that the spirits is leading her. Um, and I just feel like the elevators I feel like the elevator don't go all on all the floors. Like sometimes you got to be careful and patient because when the elevator's not working, you got to go up the stairs. So it takes a little time. We're praying for it. Anyway, next. That's just how I feel. Two more questions. Sorry, I'm taking forever to answer them, but I'd be liking to be thorough and answer them. What's up? What's the next two questions? The last two questions. It could be on any topic. You got. It could be on any topic. Y'all want to know who threatened Infinia? Yeah, basically, shy girl. This is really the kind of thing that I think. So I just be like, okay, but she really trying. So you just kind of gotta let her just be who she is. Well, Facebook isn't the best for watching videos, so it makes sense they don't have a TV app. What are the YouTubers talking about September 2nd? Who cares? But as you see, I put up a post about a strike team, and we didn't have to put out a date far out because we effective. We do our stuff right away. That's all I'm gonna say. They better stop messing with me because I'm sitting here with a ton of options, and it really be me that decide when and when not to make stuff happen. So all I'm gonna say, remember I said this. Since y'all want to talk about a projected date, I project court and Harvey I better be left alone. I better be left alone at court and Harvey. Just remember I said it. Okay. Last question. That's the next thing I got to deal with. The gas is on the tank. Oh, the gas is in the tank over here. Tell her, do you think people should go get a P order, these people, so that you can have a paper trail? Nope. I'm gonna deal with all of this. Um, I'm gonna deal with all of this. I'm gonna tell you guys the Fania story. And there are people who are trying to tell, oh, Jedediah ain't never done nothing. Da da da. It's crazy because Fania knows what has been happening. Can I ask you a personal question for something that happened a long time ago? Okay, personal is interesting. So go ahead, good game, wrong lane. Y'all, let me tell you something. I'm finna say this. I'm gonna say this because I just think that it doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. But these are people who are not. They're not. They lack the wisdom. Let me put it to you like this. They lack the wisdom and the wit to challenge a veteran advocate like me. Okay? Now, this is when people say, Jedediah, you just tell too much. But I'm finna give y'all something right now regarding Maddie. What was the outcome? Why do I know that name? Maddie. What is the update on the people that jumped you and Thornton for you and Lavelle to win in court? Can you let the court know their agenda somehow? Okay, y'all, we got all that. But I'm finna tell y'all this. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all these two things and then I'm gonna get off of here. Because I want y'all to understand when you're looking at this in the internet, I don't want you all to ever be short-sighted of the reality. Number one, these people lack the wit to challenge a veteran advocate like me. Get this. They so busy trying to whatever they think they're trying to do, which we're going to talk about in court, that they don't realize. See, their number one goal was to stop me from being effective or to being heard in the course of decisions for the region. Well, guess what? When all of this is resolved, it will be resolved. So here's the strategic part. You let them do it because they all going so fast and so hard and so foolish. They won't be able to do it when it matters. Nothing is happening right now. Y'all get it? See, I don't think y'all understand. I just wanted to give you all wisdom here. Let your and why they're gonna so Jedi, why would you do this? Because now they're gonna think, now they're gonna plot differently. They've already been determined to be fools with an agenda that's going to fail. So it's okay because if I say the little girl you thought was yours, oh my goddaughter. Well, supposed to be my goddaughter. I ain't even seen that girl. But it's supposed to be my goddaughter. We was just playing. That was not my daughter. She was supposed to be my goddaughter. Okay, but listen to me. Listen to me. They running fast because they trying to destroy me. Well, thank you. Because when it's time for the campaign, when it's time for the work, did you get it? It's over with. Thank y'all. Wasn't nothing going on. So we done already proved you to be fools and to be liars and to be scammers and to be this, that, and the third. So y'all, and I know we ain't bringing this back because we dealt with that at the beginning of the year. But now we're at the end of the year. We got elections to deal with. We got causes to deal with. We got people to help. We got things to raise awareness to. Come on, y'all. So you just look at it and you laugh because we're it's working. We're getting him. He's slowing down. And I'm just sitting there looking like, oh, okay. Yes, I'm slowing down. Instead of 32 chews, it is now 42 chews because I had to pause to look at your dumb video that they sent me as a briefing. That's the only slowing down I'm doing. Did you get it? You got it, Monica? Right. So they can go ahead and file your orders and tell your lies and get me blocked from the meetings right now. Ain't nothing happening. I need to be in the meetings during the time when I got to prove what I was saying was the case, so that your lives won't be. Come on now, y'all. I just got excited. Did y'all didn't know I was that smart, did you? So when they say, so I'm looking at Trina and she laughing and she say, "Oh, look at him. It's dismissed and it's not dismissed." Why would I want it to be dismissed when right now? I want it to be completely terminated and sanctioned later. So guess what? You can't file it. Then when it's removed, you come back and try to file it again and with the same old lies or with lies, period. Because we have already shown. Okay. Now, moving forward, what we discovered, and this is, I have to be very careful about how I articulate. Come on, man. I just want to know if anybody got it. Somebody else should have, your mind should have clicked right there and said, "Oh, Jedediah is a chess player." Ha! I want to shout. I want to shout. Fight it hard. Actor, they be sitting in court and they see me challenge the judge and they look, he ain't gonna be able to hold his temperament and this, that, and another. I know how to. Ooh, wait. If I just, the fool looking at me in court because he think he gonna get a rise out of me, I'm just smiling. What you doing that for? Why you smiling at me like that? Why you staring at me like that? Did you just call the police and get your homies restraining order dismissed? You're still a dummy. So now moving forward, do you think that these people are distractors for chat? I think that these people are trying to defend the indefendable, the indefensible, or whatever you would call it. But yeah, they're trying to stop me from doing the work that we've done during the Tiffany Henyard administration with Napoleon, with Kobe, with the corruption that's going on. Because essentially, if we've not done nothing else in Harvey, we have been effective in showing that these people of the victimization network of Thornton Township should not be given full credence like a Vivian Allen on a Vivian Allen on a Tiffany Henyard. We're not going to do Christopher Clark like they did Tiffany Henyard. If he deserves to be held accountable, it needs to be rooted in the truth. Jared, you know what you're doing. I ain't never didn't, and that's what I love about. I ain't never not knowing what I was doing, and so you let people think that, and you let people get emboldened in their foolishness, and so what I don't want, and so we have been very successful in getting people to say, wait a minute, let's look at this from a balanced, neutral position, because people just want to do stuff just they want to do it for the wrong reasons. But like I said, I keep asking, I'm still asking, where is the proof of the corruption of Christopher Clark? Don't show me pettiness. Don't show me that he doesn't communicate well. Show me the corruption, because that's what it's supposed to be here for. And so if there is no corruption and you just want a personality change, then you need to also figure out, does the personality have the capacity to deliver what the community needs? And so we have been very effective in showing the character of the complainers. And that is a problem for them. That is a problem for them because it shows who they are. And they're all banded together now. And I just put it to you like this: anybody that have band with somebody that have lied about their the level of ailment that they've gone through in their body, you're a sick individual, especially if you don't require them. You would not be with me if you lied about something like that and not release a statement of apology, especially when the proof has been put out. You cannot be alongside me like that. I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm not gonna allow it. My own mind wouldn't even allow me to do it, because again, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. You can't do that around me. And now them trying to cover it and make excuses and give it a pass will be the same ones later when all of the fray died down, and then they do something deceitful and manipulative against them, and then they'll be fighting each other, and that'll be the reason they'll be fighting each other. So no, thank you. But yeah, I didn't want to come on here and just like talk about all that. That isn't my focus. But it's really amazing to see this. And then even Trina. Trina is a person who I think is really just who she is. She says what she means what she says. But she's also allowed herself to go down the rabbit hole. She really want to see something bad happen to me. And the reason why she wants to see something bad happen to me is because she wants to feed this sinister side of herself. And then she's now trying to cloak it with, I just told you I wanted you to do better. No, you don't want that you can't want both. You can't want somebody to do better and and have their destruction. That doesn't even make sense. So yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, y'all, these people are not relevant to the upward mobility or even the attempt to stagnate in the community. They don't have any power, no rate, no resource, no relevance, no effectiveness, no institution, no organization, no position. They have nothing. And so they really are just YouTubers in a sense. And they think that just because you can get a few people to view you, that they have some type of relevance and significance. And that's the difference. I have never done any advocacy in Texas, but with the lawmakers running to my other city in Chicago, I've talked to lawmakers in Texas just off of the strength of who I am, and they're Republican. I want to know what's going on. This is the perspective. And I had to fight for it, requesting in a meeting and all of that. And that's going to be the difference. I can fly down there at a moment's notice and be involved, and will be heard or seen or effective, will inspire people. So we're not on the same level, and I'm not going to deal with their foolishness. Did we ever find out about the paintball? I put it like this: if it was true and there was any proof, it'll be all over the internet, don't you think? But it just seemed to went away. Come on now. Come on now. If it was true, wouldn't it be on every episode right now? Hell, they still talking about the fight. They talking about the fight in funerals. Wouldn't it be talked about if it was not a lie? Moving forward. I hope I said something that added value to your life. I hope I answered your questions and gave you an insight that you may not have had. Oh, Fania. Once again, Chicago is a strange place. I found out my attorney was the attorney for Andrew Holmes. I allege that the one who's been sabotaging Fania's case this whole time was her lawyer. It was her lawyer. This whole time, the person that has been sabotaging Fania's case was her lawyer. Hear me out so I can try to make this make sense. And I think I'm going to repeat all of this. I'm going to start this all over. I'm going to repeat this all over. So I'm telling you now, if you listen now, you're going to have to listen to it again. I'm going to come on specifically and do a live feed about her lawyer. And I'm going to repeat the same information so it is at the top of the video and not at almost 2 hours in. How did he do it, Jedediah? I couldn't understand why. So we were, okay, let me say how to do this. So in the beginning of this, everybody kept fighting. Even when I came, everybody kept fighting for criminal charges. Her lawyer was saying, you need to file civilly, not criminally. Let the police handle that. And I said, wait a minute, Vania. And I told them this in the beginning. I said, something about that is strange. Why is this man telling you don't go after criminal? And so I was like, I'm not going to listen to him. I'm not going to let him tell me not to fight for you in the public, just fight for this in the private. And so we had this situation where me, her, and the lawyer got on the phone, and we had this disagreement because I'm saying this makes no sense to me. So what happened was when I came into the picture, I forced this envelope of this criminal charge. We went down to Las Vegas, and I said, so my investigators did the research, and I said, Fania, your lawyer is coming back. Something about your lawyer is coming back bad. I need you, and I'm not going to tell y'all what that is. I said, we did our investigation, Fania, and your lawyer doesn't check out. And she was like, okay, well, he's already this, and the third. And I was like, well, I'm telling you, y'all, I need you to watch this guy. Something about this ain't right. And so we would just go through this and process this. And then he would found civilly, and I would say, God dang it, I knew it. So when we were in Las Vegas and was pressing it, the laws they said to us, well, we would have been able to do so much more if there was not a civil lawsuit and it wasn't so political. And I said, so I'm right. The fact that it was filed civilly first, sabotage is criminal, correct? They said yes, because it makes it look a certain way. It makes it look like it could be a attempt at a money grab if that is the opposing person's argument. Why not report the criminal before the civil? So I said, God damn it. And they said it doesn't mean that we won't investigate it, but there are particulars about this case again that I will not say in the public because it's not the time. And some of it is not my place. Now, Jedediah, why are you doing this now? I told Fania, I'm going to do this. She understood it. She said it's okay. So what happened was, so I was like, this is strange. So Debbie, we good. I told you that when I saw you in person. Uh so okay, so the investigation's happening. It's going back and forth. We're having all of this exchange. We and I'm listening to Fania say, I don't give a damn about the civil. I want the criminal. And then he said, I'm not interested in that. He literally said, I'm not doing it. And I was like, he was like, it's not gonna happen. And I was like, Fania, you the boss. She was like, well, he said it's not gonna this, that, and the third, and this is the route, this is the strategy, and maybe we'll come back to the criminal after the civil. So she doesn't know what to do. I said it's wrong. I said I'm gonna move forward with it. The guy, me and this lawyer, we're not getting along. It's not working. So, long story short, I'm gonna just fast forward to what I mean that he was discovered. So I went to Thornton Township. I went to Dalton's meeting and I gave the comment. Why y'all forget about Fania? After the comment, I got a phone call. And the phone call was saying, have you gotten updates? Are you sure you're getting updates? Legally, I can't give you no specifics, but I'm wondering if you're getting the updates. And I'm like, I'm as up to date as I could possibly be. Who ain't giving me an update? They said, so are you and Fania still communicating? Are you getting updates? And I'm like, yes, we good. Long story short, I called Fania. I said, Fania, what's the update? Why is there not an update? I said, because legally they can't tell me. But I know that the law is, or the rule is, you can't talk to the lawyer if you're on the opposite side, but you could talk to each other. So I orchestrated a phone call. And in the phone call, without getting any specifics legally, they was able to say, well, we're given this and we comply with that and we comply with this. And so Fania said, wait, what? Not knowing none of this. So then I said to her, I said, I think we just found your saboteur. I said, we found your saboteur. In other words, so then we tested it. So she reached out to the lawyer and said, did you know about this? And the lawyer said, oh yeah, no, we've got nothing. It was this motherfucker the whole time. He wasn't telling her the updates. He wasn't giving her the information. He wasn't coordinating the stuff. He was blocking stuff, sabotaging stuff, withholding stuff. He was not giving her the answers. He was avoiding her. He was suspending her. He was giving her the runaround. And it all went back to our initial investigation that he had. And this is what I'm going to say. And this is why they were so confident. And this is why my lawyer was acting funny, because he was his lawyer. I'm going to just say this. We found certain friendships almost a year ago. So, did you hear what I just said? So, when we realized, you son of a, you literally been playing her the whole time. And so, oh Jesus Christ, I can only give you guys the general because I can't be specific right now. So, once we found out, then we got the call, and so we made the call, but we couldn't talk to the mayor. And they said the mayor is upset because the mayor that was the first thing that was done when they got in the seat. They kept their promises. They kept their word. They made what was available that needed to be available, and they've done their part. So they're confused about all of the attacks and all of the anger and all of the frustration. And when that man texted back and said, "No, we have got nothing," and the other side was able to prove it, I just said, I basically told you fire him right now. So when she fired them, he said, now he want to communicate. You made a big mistake, and I'm gonna put a lien on everything. And you've done, you basically telling her now she gonna have to deal with him. Who the fuck does Sweeney think he is? Swanee or Sweeney? Something like that. Did y'all? I don't know if y'all can read between the lines. Because I'll be saying stuff and then people don't do nothing. But I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all wanted to be of effect today, go into Dalton politics and make everybody in Dalton politics aware of what I just said. It was her attorney. He was gatekeeping, running proxy, giving heads up, and sabotaging her campaign. Her fight this whole time. And then on top of that, he lied to her blatantly. And then not only did he lie to her blatantly, since they decided to fire him, now he's threatening to come after her. He's threatening to do stuff to her, and he's definitely telling her, you ain't basically getting a dime. I'm putting a lien on everything. You won't get nothing. And I am telling you this as I allege, but it's so much more. I just can't say it right now. I cannot say it right now. But basically, I have to figure this out because we got to deal with this. We got to deal with this. So she don't have anything to put a lien on. Yes, she do. If outside of criminal remedy, there is civil remedy. She won't be able to get a dime if he has a lien on it, because he's going to basically say, I worked this much and they got to pay me first as their attorney. That's what it is. That's what the lien is. So that means that he could try to tie her up in courts forever about this money if she don't pay him whatever he's demanding. It's a nightmare if I ever had one. And this is another level of violation that is so sickening, because all this is going on and this girl she losing everything from her car to her home and I hate to put this out there, but I think y'all might as well know now that you hear the story. She basically was in tears 2 days ago. Like, I have to literally leave everything. And in my mind, I'm like, I can't go on there and ask people to contribute to her again, because people feel like they've done enough, and that's okay. But I don't think they understand. This is a real fight. And my heart goes out to her. And I told her, I said, and this is what I told her. I said, you give me 2 days. I ain't gonna ask no internet for nothing, but I'm gonna figure this out. We gonna figure this out. And she just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm losing everything. And then she said, just give the lawyer whatever he wants. Let's just pursue the other side. And I said to her, you better not. That's what I told her. I said, you better not. Don't give him whatever he asking for. And he just literally intentionally destroyed your case. She literally said that. She said, I just want him to just give him whatever you want. I'll take whatever's left, just so I don't lose everything. She had a kid to think about. So I don't know who asked me the question, but thank you. Thank you for making me an information and not an entertainment. Now, here's my question. What we gonna do about it? I hope I said something that added value to your life. I got to rush to the airport now. I'm finna miss my dang on plane.
Yo. Can I get in on this? I want another 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, you thought it was through. This was just one assignment, boo. Judge checking with God, getting next instructions. You need an advocate, reach out, he might be coming. This young black king needs no introduction. When he shows up, haters hate seeing him coming. And no, he's not Malcolm, he's not Martin either. He got his own style. Jedi, yeah, we see ya. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And when he comes through, you know they coming too. Hey yo, INA, where you at? What it do? They got receipts, they got them files. They gon' investigate an advocate, holding it down. And when it comes to intel, you know they showing out. You smiling in Jed's face. Hold up, check that file. Don't run up on them either, they always in the crowd. INA got his back, you don't know when they around. This crew, they not looking for the credit. Advocates on the move. This crew, shifting the atmosphere. Advocates on the move. And then there's Jed's mother, you know she gon' speak. She praying for the people, prophesying what she see. Jed, God got you covered, he's holding you down. He's showing you his favor, his mercy, his power. So always stay humble, give God your best. Remember you're a man, ain't no S on your chest. You know where help comes from when you're up or you're down. That crew runs deep, keep the real ones around. This crew